Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video, and today I am trying something fun. I am playing FINS in the main deck with a Doomsday pivot in the sideboard. That means that I don't really have any traditional sideboard cards. I don't have anything in the way of graveyard hate. Myself, I don't have any bounce spells, removal spells. What I have is a complete pivot from Reanimator into Doomsday. These are 15 cards. The only traditional cards are the two defense grid. But let's say this is 13 cards I'm going to be bringing in, which means I don't think I can board out the entire Reanimator package, but most of it. So I'll be boarding out some number. Oh, actually, you know what I forgot? I forgot a copy of Consider. So I think actually Consider is going to replace one of the careful studies here. Yeah. Smooth, smooth. All right. I am running only 13 lands, but 5 plastic lands here, and 4 petals and 1 chrome box. If you're not familiar with FINS, this is a sort of turbo reanimator strategy that surfaced like, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, if not more, where you try to reanimate Griselbrand with either Goryo's Vengeance or Shallow Grave, which gives it haste, and then you just try to basically draw your entire deck. With Children of Korlis, you get to, if you bring that back, then you sacrifice it, you gain life equal to the life you've lost this turn, and that just sort of just makes it so you can keep drawing everything. We have Emrakul to animate with Goryo's Vengeance or Shallow Grave because they are instant speed. We can attack, annihilate, all that stuff. And then the plan is for them to hopefully board in a lot of Graveyard Hate, and we'll board out of the Reanimator package mostly and into Doomsday. Yeah, let's give it a try. All right, we're on the draw for round number 1. And I think we keep hands like this, though we are missing, we have like let's keep here. We have the A part, we need the B part. So we need an Entomb or a creature we can Thoughtseize into our graveyard. Oh, but we're up against oops, all spells. Okay, so I have no graveyard hate to bring in here, so in game 2 I have to hope to be faster. And let's just see if there's anything remarkable here. You see they have 2 cards in hand. Is there any way that they don't have Dread Return here? There's Dread Return. Where's Thassa? Thassa's there. Okay, I'll concede. I don't think I changed anything here. I think the Reanimator part is the faster part of the deck. And yeah, let's just resubmit. So I think like we are a little bit slower combo deck than them, but not that much slower, but we are slower. But then we have Force of Will. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they are pivoting into creature beatdowns here, which is gonna be slower to kill us with. But I mean, obviously they have no idea what we're playing. They're probably, or I don't know, maybe they're looking it up, like what I have trophies with. In which case they will see Doomsday mostly. This one Thoughtseizes them and then does nothing else. I'm gonna mulligan. I mean, this is a fine hand if we're not that much under the gun. Okay, keeping this. We have to hope that our Daze holds down the fort here. Opponent is also mulliganing. Okay, I'm gonna bottom the Ponder. Let's see the opponent go down to 5. 5, please. Okay, they found 6 they like. Let's just float the Delta here. Please just pass. Or go like land, discard spell. Well, that's a petal, so that's not a land, but whatever. Uh-oh. Thoughtseize. Okay. So I'm going to Entomb in response. I'm going to hope my opponent isn't like sitting on a reanimate in hand. I didn't check to see sometimes Oops All Spells plays like Reanimate, but I'm gonna put, where is he? The old Grizzle Dad into the graveyard. And then I'm going to let them Thoughtseize me here. And they probably take Shallow Grave. Unless they can just kill me. If they have like Ritual, Undercity Informer here, they just take the daze and move on with their life. They take Reanimate, okay. Oh, come on. Well, I guess I daze. They might have a Spirit Guide, but I mean, that's also a lot of resources for them. How about a Dark Ritual? Oh, Emrakul, okay. Well, now we have to give them this free turn. And the question then is, can they kill us? Oh, they're passing. Do we really get to do the thing? It would appear as though we do. Return the top creature card from your graveyard to play. Let's draw some cards. And let's draw some more cards. And then here's what we can do. We can reanimate our Emrakul here. So let's imprint, I guess, a Dark Ritual. Then we can cast Dark Ritual. And I guess I might as well just Thoughtseize them. I don't believe they are able to deal me 3 damage at instant speed. This might prompt the concession. Yep. Alright. So the question is, do we think they have any Reanimator, like any anti-graveyard stuff? And if so, I don't think we need the Cavern of Souls here. How about if we board out the Children of Korlis and the Gorios thingies? And maybe Shallow Grave is better than, or worse than Gorios Vengeance. Let's board out the Emrakul. Like getting to just put reanimated Griselbrand is kind of interesting here. And I think like if we can Shallow Grave or Gorios Vengeance in a Griselbrand, then I think like it's not unreasonable for us to maybe try and kill with Tendrils or a Doomsday on the same turn. And 1 Entomb. How about that? So we're down to 2 Entombs, 3 animation spells, and 1 target. Yeah, let's try this. Well, this hand has Force of Will, so let's keep that. They also keep 7. I'm hoping to see a ley line here almost. Okay, no ley line. Okay, just a land and pass. This is tempting. I am actually going to just pass and discard Griselbrand to hand size. I think I Force of Will this. We might just lose, but I mean, if they have the kill here, they just take my force and then kill us. There's a green mana. Ooh, and a petal. Yikes. Boo. Okay. Do they also have the Spirit Guide? Okay, they didn't have the Spirit Guide, but I pretty much am guaranteed to lose here, I think. How do I not lose? If in the top 7 cards I were to draw like multiple forces, that's probably not even good enough. Well, let's draw 7. We might draw like Petals and Dark Rituals and Doomsdays and whatnot. So that's almost good enough. So we can play the Petal and cast Doomsday, though that doesn't really do a lot. We can play the Petal and cast Brainstorm and hope to hit like what? Petal. That would win. Like if 2 of my remaining 3 Petals are in the top 3 of the 44 cards in the deck. There's also a world where I storm them out? Nah, that's never gonna happen. Well, let's play out the Petal here. I guess I could Brainstorm and hope to hit more Force of Will effects. Yeah, let's cast this Brainstorm. Ooh, that was almost good. The second Force at least was like somewhat like the best thing I could hit here, but yeah, let's put back Thassa's Oracle. That would leave me with Force, and 3 blue cards. That's okay. I guess we'll put Doomsday back on top. And I will move to discard. Get rid of 1 land and 1 ritual. And what? No, maybe not a ritual. Wait, you can't undo this? Really? Is that how Magic Online works? I can't undo what I've clicked on here? Oh, it let me undo that. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I guess, let's put away the other land here if we get to, and the Dark Ritual, yeah, that's fine. Okay. They have 3 cards in hand. They can spend a mana to turn over their deck, and then all they have to do is beat double Force of Will, which is certainly possible. Okay, so they start off with casting Cabal Therapy. I'm gonna pitch Careful Study, but now they can just like flip 3 Narcomoebas and sack one of them to Cabal Therapy, and probably trigger like several Poxwalkers. Yeah, I think I've lost here, but it is what it is. Okay, so they pivoted into Goblin Charbelcher, and there are 3 Narcomoebas. Let's see. They have 2 cards left in their hand. Thassa's Oracle in the graveyard. Where is Dread Return? I don't actually see Dread Return. So they have one therapy. Okay, I might be missing something here, but it looks like they have 1 Cabal Therapy in the graveyard and 1 Thassa's Oracle. No Dread Return. So the Dread Return must be in their hand. I don't see Memory's Journey either. Okay, well, we'll see how this plays out. And I mean, if they Thoughtseize, or rather Cabal Therapy me, then I think I just let it resolve and hope they name Surgical Extraction or something. But I think they have to Cabal Therapy themselves to get the Dread Return. No, this targets me. Okay. I'm gonna let them give them the chance to name something other than Force of Will. They named Force of Will. Well done. This was the revealed zone. Maybe that's what I was looking at, and so they still have a therapy, which was what was this card? Oh, the Dread Return was just there. I must have just missed it, I guess. Targets Thassa's Oracle. That makes sense. Okay, GG's. Well done, you. Okay, round number 2. On the play. Yeah, let's keep this. And I think I just go for the end of turn Entomb, and then hope to ponder into an animation spell. Let's see if they have something to fight over this with. That just happened. Let's get Griselbrand, and let's cast a Ponder. Yeah, let's shuffle these. Oh, God. Okay, pass the turn. Let's hope our opponent isn't playing Reanimator. It is an Underground Sea deck. They put Wasteland into the graveyard. Let's also hope they don't have, fuck off. Oh my god, this fucking format. Which I know is a bit of a hypocritical thing to say, seeing as I'm also playing this deck, but yeah. So this is Tempo Reanimator, still alive and well in June of 2025. I'm just going to resubmit here. I'm not going to pivot to Doomsday. Maybe go for that if there is a game 3. And let's mulligan. And let's keep this. And we'll get rid of Consider. This is a turn 1 combo. So our opponent has to have Force of Will or Surgical Extraction, I believe. Or Force of Negation, I guess. They could also let this resolve, then Force of Will my animation spell, and then just animate Griselbrand. Okay. Looks like they didn't have Force of Will this time. Let's draw some cards. Let's draw some more cards. Need to hit Artifact. There it is. Let's just play. Oh, hang on. So we could just play the children here. Let's do that. Let's gain 14 life. Let's draw some more cards. Draw some more. Play some stuff. And just kill them with tendrils, I guess. Where was it? So I think I bring in everything here. And I board out as much as I can of my reanimation package. Does Goryo's Vengeance stipulate your own graveyard? Yeah, from your graveyard. Okay. I think I do like keeping in the tendrils because they are a deck that might cast reanimate on a big creature and then be vulnerable to that. And then if I cut all the entombs, this is a pretty sweet transformation, I think. Like the one reanimate lets me randomly snag one of their creatures. The most awkward things now are like the 2 copies of Careful Study. Yeah, let's keep this. They also kept 7 Thoughtseize. Okay. They probably take Personal Tutor here, or they could take Force of Will. And we draw another one. Days. I'm going to fetch Basic Island and cast Personal Tutor here so that we get to beat a Wasteland. Maybe I'll play out a Petal. I get Dazed. Doomsday on top. Oh, they were just passing. Interesting. I think I'll cast Ponder though. Double Daze and a Thoughtseize. Okay, I think I like this. I run the risk of them having like another Thoughtseize. But other than that, I think this is a pretty solid place. If they brainstorm here, I'm gonna daze it. They daze. Okay, I'm gonna pay. I have another Petal coming. Obviously, that's not for another couple of turns. Let's take the Force of Will. Yeah, let's just pass. So I'm gonna draw a Daze, and then I'm gonna draw. Oh fuck! They top decked a Wasteland. Let's play out one Petal here. It's the one they know about, and they know about the Doomsday. They don't know about the other 3 cards. The Hill Spellbomb. Congratulations. We need 1 source of black mana here. Another Petal, a land, or a Dark Ritual. Dothy Voidwalker. I think I just daze this? Or do I? They have to spend next turn reanimating it? Yeah, I think I just daze this. So we still know about the 4 cards in their hand. I think I pass. I don't want to get Brainstorm locked. Man, that Wasteland was so clutch. Now they Brainstorm? Okay. Reanimate on the Dothy. Yeah, that's fine. Then Tamio. Okay. Seriously? Okay, well, let's cast Brainstorm. They daze. I think I daze back. Lets me keep my Petal and lets me replay the island. Okay. So we'll get to put Doomsday on the stack. So let's put back Tundra and Undercity Sewers. So unless they have another Daze, which I don't think they have, because then they would have cast it when I dazed. I would imagine so anyways. So I'll be at 8. They will have a 3-powered creature. Okay, and I have the Cavern already. So the issue is they have the bounce spell. Oops. They have the bounce spell. So if they just keep open mana, they can bounce my Thassa. If they have a Wasteland, I'm just dead. I could also like cast Consider, then they can keep open Daze for that. I was trying to think I could like keep open Consider. Oh, never mind. Reanimate's no good because they also have the Spell Bomb. And they have the Dothy Void Aura. What the hell am I talking about? Okay, maybe I am just supposed to do the Brainstorm pile and hope they don't have like Force of Will. I think so. I think that makes sense. So we do need Consider then, and LED. So we draw the Brainstorm, we cast it, Yeah. Thassa on the bottom, Cycler on top, LED, Consider, and Brainstorm, and pass. You know what's funny actually is if they keep back the Dothy, they can cast my Force of Will, but they use the Dothy right now. What do I have that they can cast? Brainstorm. Okay. Oh, they cast Doomsday. That's really cool. And so they can put like Force of Will on top and draw into it. Gross. In that case, maybe I'm supposed to like take it slow here. There's also, I suppose, a chance that they boarded in like Consign to Memory, which I just can't beat. Yeah, this has been a pretty cool game, I think. Regardless of the turnout. All right, now they have a bunch in exile. I see 1, 2, 3 Force of Wills in exile. I see two Dazes. So 3 Forces, 2 Dazes. I don't see any Consign to Memory, but I mean that could be for any number of reasons. What will it be? Okay. They nuke my graveyard and draw a card. Let's see if it's Thoughtseize. No, it's Wasteland. Okay. I mean, I think we probably have to assume they don't attack with Tamio. That's funny. I think we have to assume that they have Consign to Memory. So what do I do here? I think I just or not Consign to Memory. Sorry, I think we have to assume they have Force of Will. I'm not gonna like just run head first into this. And I mean, if I don't cast any spells, then they're just gonna deck themselves. There's Orcish Bowmasters. So my deck is LED, then Edge of Autumn, then Thassa's Oracle. I think I just Force of Will this. Okay, that's forced. So they draw. I mean, you attack here, right? Anyway, for some reason, I have a hard time with them not attacking. Okay, let's cast the LED. I don't think there's a reason not to. And then I'll pass. Another Bowmasters. What happens if I consider now? I guess I'll just draw that. Maybe that was dumb. Like, I didn't need to do that. I could just take the damage. Yeah. So I go to 6, then they draw their second to last card. I go to 4, then I draw and I pass. They draw their last card. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think, like, if I didn't do this, I suppose if they have another, they probably just stacked Bowmasters. But we'll see. We'll see if they also have the Consign to Memory. Well, one of us is dead here. They're taking an awfully long time not doing anything. Okay, Thassa resolves. Do you have Consign to Memory? Hey, they didn't. Sweet, we won the match. There we go. Off to round number 3. Alright, so I just came back here trying to finish the league that I started. About a week has passed since my first 2 matches. And apparently the league or the season ended, so my league is gone. So I'm going to enter a new league with the Reanimator deck and at least play 3 matches. We'll see how we go. Alright, on the play, let's see if we have an explosive opening hand here. Close, but no Zagarg. I'm going to mulligan this hand. I'm going to keep and... Oof, it's close, but I think I'm going to bottom the Goryo's Vengeance. And then I'm going to fetch basic island here off Flooded Strand and cast Ponder. A Force of Will, but other cards that I don't really want, so let's shuffle these. And wow, we get a Careful Study. That was actually pretty much the nuts. Well, we'll see what we're up against, but I guess discard here would be annoying, although not catastrophic. Like if they Thoughtseize us here and take Shallow Grave, we can still Careful Study, get Griselbrand into the graveyard, and then we have a lot of live draws towards an animation spell. Our best draw probably is like Dark Ritual. Like opponent tap out for something that doesn't disrupt our hand, and then we get to like draw Dark Ritual, cast Careful Study. So, I mean, the Careful Study lets us. It basically means if there's a Dark Ritual in the top 3 cards of our deck, or a. All right, opponent finally. It took them 4 minutes almost to take their first turn. They make a Planar Nexus. So I think that means I don't have to worry about counter spells. There's a reanimate, so straight off the bat, like we have a guarantee Griselbrand here. I mean, unless our opponent, of course, has a way to interact with it, but I don't expect that they will. But let's see if we can do even better, which we do. So I'm going to put Griselbrand and Reanimate in the graveyard. And I'll just say any order, because Shallow Grave cares about the order of things, but only with regards to creatures. So let's cast the Shallow Grave. We'll get back Griselbrand. We can draw 14 and then attack. Let's play this Petal. And draw some more. And we are able to kill with Griselbrand right now. Oh, and Emrakul, I mean. So what we'll do is we'll play out this Petal, we'll play a Dark Ritual, and we will Cabal Therapy ourselves. And we'll name Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. That'll put Emrakul in the graveyard, and a trigger will go on the stack once our opponent is done looking at our hand. This gives away that we have counter spells, but you know, so be it. I cast Shallow Grave in response, Emrakul comes back, okay, opponent concedes, sweet. So Planar Nexus means some kind of Grim Monolith deck. I wonder if I want to remain a Reanimator deck. I think I don't. I think I want to be Doomsday here. Be fast Doomsday. Like if they are an Eldrazi deck, that's still, you know, they will have cards that we care about. So let's board in these 12 cards, and let's board out at least most of the package. We can get rid of the Emrakul. Could they be a painter deck? Probably not. Let's get rid of all the Goryo's Vengeance cards. Maybe no, Goryo's, yeah, maybe Goryo's Vengeance is actually better than Shallow Grave here. We might have a situation where like we have a Street Wraith in the graveyard. Well, actually, then I can't reanimate it, but then like if I have Street Wraith and Griselbrand, yeah, let's get rid of some of these Shallow Graves. I'll get rid of 1 Griselbrand, and I'll get rid of 2 Entombs and 1 Careful Study. Like, Careful Study is not terrible. I think also Tendrils of Agony can go. So right now what I have 4 animation spells and 2 Entombs. Maybe I only need 3 animation spells. And maybe we get rid of the Cabal Therapy. Yeah, let's try this. So I'm at 21 blue cards. That's okay. I don't think I keep this. Yeah, let's keep this for sure. Get rid of the Thassa's Oracle. And see how this is going to pan out. They start out with a Leyline of the Void. We have successfully juked them here. Well, I mean, we'll see. They might still be able to win. Days I like. Let's just put Doomsday on the stack, I think. And let's get some cyclers going. Edge of Autumn here, 2 Street Wraiths, Edge of Autumn, Thassa's Oracle. I can't really win. Well, no, maybe that's not true. What if I were to like also draw a Petal? So I draw a Petal for turn, and then I cast Ponder, and then cycle. Yeah, let's try that. I mean, if they can mess with my Underground Sea, then having the extra Petal is also kind of nice. If they have Disruptor Flute and like Planar Nexus here, then I'm kind of screwed. There's Urza's Saga, that's okay. And let's just cast the Ponder here. We also have Careful Study, but there's no need to go down on cards. Well, we'll play the Petal here before doing anything else if they want to Flute. And I'm going to play out the Snow-Covered Island, just in case they put something on the stack that I want to daze after I sack the Underground Sea. I don't think they will, but you never know. They could have Mindbreak Trap, I guess. Kozilek's Command. Where can I see what X is? X is 0. Target player scraws X, then draws a card. Yeah, okay. So, glad we have daze for that. Hope their last card isn't a Spirit Guide. Looks as though it was not. Sweet! Easy 2-0. On to the next round. Alright, on the draw. Alright, so we have an interesting hand here. We can Thoughtseize ourselves and then bring back Griselbrand. And that is a completely unprotected move. We can also Thoughtseize our opponent. But let's see what they're up to here. Yeah, I think my best draw in the dark here is either Daze or another discard spell. Okay, opponent goes for a Mistrise Village. This makes me feel like we're up against Show and Tell. Okay, so let's we drew another Dark Ritual, so let's actually, I'm gonna Dark Ritual and then I'm gonna Thoughtseize myself, and then if they counter that, it kind of sucks. But if they don't, then I feel pretty good about resolving a Griselbrand. They have to counter this if they have a force here with the Dark Ritual mana in the pool. So maybe I'm actually supposed to not fire off a Dark Ritual quite yet, but I don't know. Then if I go like Petal, okay. But that just happened. So Griselbrand goes into the graveyard. Let's cast another Dark Ritual. And I think I would rather resolve Shallow Grave here. But so I am going to try and put that on the stack first. I don't know if they have a counter spell. So I'm kind of banking on them not having one. And if they do have one, then I still get to reanimate here. If they have double force, obviously, it's pretty bad for me. I don't think you can let this resolve if you have means to stop it. Okay, so they force will pitch Brainstorm. I cast Reanimate, and we see how we do. If they had a second force, then it kind of sucks that they chose to like sandbag it, or rather like keep me waiting. They took a long time to decide to blow that force of will. Okay, so Griselbrand is in. I'm gonna take 7 and go down to 2 life here and see if we can win. We can't, but oh, hang on. Should I cast Entomb right now? Yeah, I might as well. I'll get Children of Korlis, and I'll pass. Passing with force and days back up. The Mistrise Village does mean that like if they can go like Petal Ancient Tomb, but then I can like daze a Petal, and then it's also fine. So I don't think they can really do that much this turn. They can make a Force of Will uncounterable with another land next turn. So, like if they have a Force of Will, I mean. Okay, they're passing. I get to untap here, and I'm just going to start by attacking. Griselbrand takes them down to 12. I'm going to Brainstorm before I do anything here. And I think actually playing the fetch land might have been a little bit of a risk because I can't really fetch and then also draw 7 and then also have Force of Will. Let's put back the Tundra and the Underground Sea, I guess. And I mean, I am gonna Cabal Therapy them. I'm gonna name Show and Tell. Let's hope they don't have Veil of Summer in hand. I guess I can Force of Will that. Okay, so they have Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Omniscience. So that's pretty scary. And Emrakul. Okay. So I am going to have to counterspell Lotus Petal here to not lose if they just top deck a Show and Tell or Surveil into a Show and Tell. And it is the green version. They put Veil of Summer into the graveyard. There's Ancient Tomb. There's Lotus Petal. I am just going to Force of Will this. And they pass. So hopefully we can just win now. Oh, I was just about to pay 7 life. Probably not a good idea when you're on 7. You may or may not just have heard my dog make a little noise. I'm sorry about that. Someone just rang the doorbell. Okay, attacking here. They take 7. We draw 7. And Shallow Grave should do it. Oh, I guess also Tendrils of Agony will do it. They could have drawn a petal, a Veil of Summer here, but then I think they would have cast it. Okay, let's cast this Shallow Grave and get back Children of Korlis. I can just kill them here with Tendrils. I would rather they concede and not have to show them the Tendrils. Okay, Children is in. I'm going to Thoughtseize first, just to lose 2 more life that I can then gain back and also see what they're working with. Alright, that's Alorian Revealed and an Omniscience. I guess we get rid of the Omniscience, it doesn't really matter. Then we sacrifice the Children here, and that should gain us 9 life. So we draw another 7. I guess like we have to win with Tendrils on this turn, so maybe let's just do that and move on to the second game. This is enough mana. Storm is plenty. They're on 4 life. I don't know if I'm supposed to remain Reanimator here full on, because they are likely to have some, but maybe not a ton of graveyard hate, and having creatures to put in off of Show and Tell makes Show and Tell like a pretty dicey proposition. So I actually think I want to remain Reanimator, and then if there is a game 3, I'll be Doomsday and I'll be on the play. So yeah, let's try this. I mean, if they have Leyline of the Void, then it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Even if they don't have Leyline, we're very, very vulnerable to something like I don't know, what do you call it? Like Grafdigger's Cage. It's a little bit easier to fight something that interacts on the stack, like Fairy Macabre or Surgical, because we have discard spells and yeah, Force of Will, of course. Okay. I don't know that I can keep this hand. I'm gonna mulligan. I'll keep this, but it's not amazing. I'll put Children of Korlis away. That means we have redundant animation spells, which is good. Land go from the opponent. Force of Will, okay. I am just gonna go land go as well. Ancient Tomb, that's Show and Tell mana. I draw a fetch land, which is kind of nice. I am gonna brainstorm here. I only really have 1 card I want to replace, which is one of the animation spells. Okay, that was not good. Let's get rid of, I don't know. Oh, that was so bad. That was, yeah. Didn't find a blue card to replace the Brainstorm for Force of Will. And then also like drew really bad cards, a redundant Dark Ritual. The land that I wanted to fetch, the Undercity Sewers. Yeah. I think we put back Chrome Mox and Undercity Sewers and pass. Opponent is brainstorming, end of turn, okay. 2 mana here, looks like they're cycling Lorien Revealed, yeah. Oof, okay, Grafdigger's Cage. Don't think I can afford the Force of Will here. I think right now my plan becomes trying to hardcast Griselbrand. with these dark rituals, which is not exceedingly likely, seeing as we need more mana and also don't currently have a Griselbrand. Thoughtseize. Do I Thoughtseize into the Veil? The open Veil mana. I guess I do, and then what, Force of Will? It's pretty bad exchange. Okay. They have double Force and Sink into Stupor, which is also going to cramp my style here. So they can shock the, or bolt the Sink into Stupor into play, play around Daze, have Force. I think I have to take the One Ring, which sucks. Here's Ponder. I guess, like, tendrilsing them out is also not out of the question, especially if they decide to get, like, frisky with the Ancient Tomb there. No shuffle. Okay, here comes the Sink. Stock up, okay. I mean, they're going to accrue so much advantage here. I think now Tendrils is actually, like, Brainstorm into Tendrils plus some free spells would be really interesting. But of course, that gets undone by them finding Veil of Summer. And right now we have to beat a 5-card hand, which 2 cards are Force of Will. I'm going to let Show and Tell resolve, because they have double Force. Which, I mean, obviously, if their cards are, like, Omniscience and lands, then they would have, then they just pitched the Force, so it's fine. Did they find something to kill us with as well? Well, Ponder is a look. They don't shuffle, so there is Cunning Wish. Let's just see what their win con is. Probably Shared Summons. GG's. I think I want some Doomsdays here, but I'm also a little bit tempted by being like the fast Reanimator deck on the play. If their interaction is Grafdigger's Cage, yeah, I think actually I just remain El Doomsdayo here, or El Reanimato. Alright, let's choose to be on the play, and I'll keep this. It's certainly not amazing, but it lets us cantrip and stuff. And we have a Daze, we have half of our combo. A little bit concerned that opponent also kept 7. So I could consider Griselbrand into the graveyard here on my next upkeep. That seems okay. So let's do that. We'll draw the Ponder and leave Griselbrand on top. It is a little bit like weak to a bunch of things here. Like if I have to Daze a Grafdigger's Cage here, then I just get stuck with Griselbrand in my hand. Let's cast Consider, see if they want to do anything about that. Griselbrand into the graveyard, we draw a Brainstorm, and then if we're lucky we'll draw land. But a Dark Ritual. So let's pray for no Grafdigger's Cage here. We can Daze a Cage because their second land drop was Hedge Maze. They keep the card on top. Okay, draw land, please. Yes, okay. I'm going to Dark Ritual, and this is the card I don't want countered. And then I'm going to cast Shallow Grave. See what they have to say about that. Hopefully not Surgical Extraction. Which I guess I can then, like, I can Shallow Grave on over the top here, but I expect them to have, like, a counter spell. Paying costs. Fox, Surgical. Well, let's cast second Shallow Grave. And then lose the Force of Will. Yep, that's Force of Will. I'll keep playing. I mean, I can still Shallow Grave and Emrakul at some point. But, yeah, not looking good. My win condition now becomes Emrakul and Tendrils. So they had both Grafdigger's Cages and Surgical. It makes sense that they would have Surgical as a Cunning Wish target, then they would be better off just boarding it in. That's what I would do as well. And now they draw the card they were happy to draw. Okay, fortunately not, they aren't just able to combo us here. I'm going to start with a Brainstorm, and then I can use the Ponder to shuffle. Well, I mean, Shallow Grave and Emrakul. What's more likely that I find a discard spell to remove my Emrakul or an Entomb? Let's get rid of one Brainstorm and one Emrakul, I think. And then let's cast Ponder. If we find, like, Careful Study Dark Ritual here. Okay, we don't. Let's shuffle. There's Tendrils. That's actually also a pretty nice card for us to draw. I don't expect us to pull out of this, but at least our deck is somewhat putting up a fight here in the face of adversity. They know I have Daze. If they're trying to go for a hardcast Lauren reveal, that would be interesting. The One Ring. Okay. I'm going to Force of Will pitch Brainstorm, which sucks. It's like all my gas, but I have to be able to Daze a Veil of Summer. I suppose I could also like see a world where letting the ring resolve and then them like killing themselves or putting themselves into lethal tendrils range would be a thing, but I just don't. They're going to draw Veils of Summer, Veil of Summers, however you make that plural, with the ring. Yep, there is Veil. We Daze the Veil. Do they have like a Force of Will as their last and a blue card as their last two cards? Looks like they didn't. So they pass Petal. Okay. Petal is a nice spell with tendrils. And they pass. Dark Ritual, also nice. This is now nice with both if I draw an Entomb for the Emrakul and stuff like that. Oh. Stock up, okay. Stock up at least takes them down to 12 here. I can deal them 6 as it is. 8 if I were to draw like another spell. Yeah. Them drawing more Veil of Summer is what I'm mostly concerned with, I have to say. What do I want here? Like a cantrip, Thoughtseize? I draw Thoughtseize. I think we pass. They play an island. Show and tell. Okay. Hopefully they just show an Emrakul here. But I can't. I don't have anything. I'm not gonna put in the Veil or the Petal. I mean. Oh shit! It's Omniscience. Are we dead? Stock up. We're probably dead. Boo! The One Ring. It gives them protection as well. And here's a Ponder. They don't shuffle. And a nice little draw 3. They have so many cards now. And there's Emrakul. Okay, GG's. Alright, so on the play for the final quote-unquote round, well, not quote-unquote, it is a round, but the quote-unquote final one, because this has been a little bit of a weird thing here, but this is the 5th round of this video, and I will conclude at the end of it. But let's see. This is not good enough, I don't think. Yeah, this works. Let's get rid of this Lotus Petal. And I do think I actually turn 1 Careful Study here. If our opponent is the sort of deck that can like interact with our graveyard, then it's a little bit risky, but I think getting in under like a Daze or them pondering for a Force or whatever is pretty interesting. Okay, let's get rid of Griselbrand and I think Thoughtseize. And because this way I get to Brainstorm and be guaranteed a blue card for Force and the other Force. But yeah, let's see. Let's hope the opponent doesn't just naturally have Bojuka Bog or something. Volcanic Island, okay. Not typically seen together with Bojuka Bog. Ooh, how about that? What do I do here? Do I risk playing into a Daze? I think I actually pass here. I don't think I need to risk it, and Goryo's Vengeance is an instant speed spell. I think I would rather... So if my opponent doesn't play anything here, okay, they do. They play Brainstorm. I was going to say, I think that informs us that it's probably not a tempo deck, but instead like Show and Tell. But we'll see. They pass. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting non-tempo vibes over there. Let's get Undercity Sewers. And like any blue card, I'll keep because then I have double force. Oh, reanimate, that's also good. I think I'll keep that and then just cast it, really. I expect a force here, but we'll see. No, okay. I think I'll just pass. If it is a combo deck we're up against, then Griselbrand activating with me already having double force of will is pretty strong. Hedge Maze, so what is it? I still think Show and Tell is my best bet here, but I guess it could be like up the Beanstalk deck. Basic Island, okay. Up the Beanstalk it is. Yeah. I have the advantage with regards to card advantage. What does this do? Storm Chaser's talent. So it enters and they get a 1/1 creature with prowess. They can level it up and then they can return an instant or a sorcery from the graveyard and level it up again, and then whenever they cast an instant or sorcery spell, they get they create a 1/1 blue and red prowess creature. That, I believe, is fine. They can chump block my Griselbrand, but that's also fine. Children of Korlis. I think I'm going to lead with the draw 7 here. And I can't get Emrakul into the graveyard and reanimate it. But what I can do is play Children of Korlis, and then I'll just draw my deck and kill them with tendrils. I'm going to attack first to gain 7 and then lose 7 again. Like if they can block and then somehow get rid of their otter so I don't gain 7, that would be pretty good. I kind of hope they don't block so that I don't need to storm out for as much. Okay. Let's pay another 7, go down to 3. I've lost 14 life this turn. And let's play a Lotus Petal. I'm not gonna Thoughtseize them to lose 2 more life, because that turns off Force of Will, and if I don't know what it would be, but if they have some kind of free spell that I need to interact with, I guess I have Daze, but still, I don't think it's necessary. We can bring back the children. This might just prompt a concession, but let's sacrifice it, gain a bunch of life, draw some more. We have the ability to go infinite here because we can discard Emrakul and then shuffle our deck. Okay, 26 cards left in the deck. 19 left. Did we draw the tendrils? We did not. Okay, so let's start casting some spells here. Okay, so I'm casting a couple of rituals here, and then I'm gonna cast Shallow Grave. Oh, what's this? Force of Negation. Yeah, that's fine. Is it fine though? Guess I'll force. I'll pitch Brainstorm. What did they pitch? They pitched a Ponder, right? Yeah. Okay. Dark Ritual resolves. Then we Shallow Grave, back the children. And then we gain a bunch of life. We're up to 31, so let's activate Griselbrand. We can activate him twice, but then we lose if we don't do anything else. Okay, so still no tendrils. They're in the bottom 12 cards of the deck, where it is. Let's draw 7 more. There is the tendrils. Yeah, if we hadn't found it, what we would have done is we would have discarded ourselves with Cabal Therapy, named Emrakul. That would have shuffled our deck, or graveyard into our deck, and then we could just Entomb for children, keep going, draw the deck again. But it is not needed. Alright, so we have Storm is 8, they're at 12 life. Plenty of mana, so I'm just going to tendrils them. Alright, that draws the concession. I am going to just go for the Doomsday pivot here. And Hope they aren't playing too many, like, consign a memory. Maybe I want the defense grids to... This is 15 cards. Let's see if we can actually find 15 to remove that we're happy removing. It might be the entire animation package. That's 8. The 2 Griselbrands and the tendrils is 11. Oh, sorry, the Emrakul. And then the tendrils is 12. How many blue cards right now? 18 plus 4, that's 22. 21 really, because we don't want to exile Thassa's Oracle if we get rid of the 2 careful studies. Oh, hang on, we got Shallow Graves to remove. Okay, so we can't actually empty out on animation. We also don't want the children here. So maybe we go with get rid of 1 careful study and get rid of both Shallow Graves, and then we can add 1 Entomb, 1 oh, hang on. Do I still have Griselbrand? No, Griselbrand's there. Yeah, I'll add 1 Griselbrand and 1 Reanimate. So we have a tiny little package here. And I'm okay keeping the Consider. Okay, let's try it. And if they win game 2, I might just like re-pivot back to Reanimator on for game 3. This is funny. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mulligan this. Get the 1 of Griselbrand. Get the 1 of Reanimate here. I think I have to keep this, but and maybe I get rid of. I think I get rid of Reanimate. No. I guess careful. No, I don't know. This is tricky. I guess Cabal Therapy. I'm gonna get rid of Cabal Therapy. They go Misty Rainforest. There's Forceful. Okay. Let's start off with Ponder. Dark Ritual, a land, and another personal tutor. Yeah, I like this. I'm gonna keep. I'll draw the Dark Ritual, and we'll pass. I really hope they go hard on, like, I don't know, Rest in Peace next turn or something. Okay, they surveil a volcanic island into the graveyard. Counterbalance. I think I would prefer not to play against this card, and I don't know if this Daze is gonna, like, remain relevant. Counterbalance, counterspelled, or dazed. Alright, I'm gonna cast Personal Tutor and put Doomsday on top of my deck. They just make a land drop and pass. I am worried about, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they are able to beat this 1 Forceful here, but I'm gonna let them, I'm gonna make them have it. Casting a spell Pierce. Let's try Force of Will and lose to any number of stuff they might have. Okay, Spell Pierce was countered. They didn't have a Flusterstorm. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so we want Cavern of Souls, we want Thassa, we want... How many lands do I have? Yeah, okay. So, some Cyclers. And at this stage, we just accept if they have us beat with a Consign, I think. I could try and put a discard spell in there to try and beat a possible Consign, but then that gives them another turn, and if on that turn they find something like a Narset or something, it's pretty bad. So, all right, let's pass here. I might just have to give them an additional turn. Well, I might just want to give them an additional turn, because that way I don't have to completely go down to 0 cards if they then are able to, like, kill the or bounce. No, I guess that wouldn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, here comes a spell. I am worried about Narset. It's a Murktide. Okay. And Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, so I can't... I have to pass because Thos is on the bottom. I was just considering if if I wanted to just try and go for it here, but the Murktide means, well, the Grafdigger's Cage means that my reanimate is off, but Murktide also means I can't like cycle and then reanimate because I'll be almost dead here. Okay, they get the thingy. I will be at exactly 1 life after cycling Street Wraith twice. They are a red deck. It's not inconceivable that they could have a spell that deals me damage. I'd be a little bit surprised to see Lightning Bolt out of that deck, but maybe something else that I'm not thinking about. But this is the play we have. We're also dead to something weird like an Archmage's Charm or something else that draws us a card. Predict. Okay, so let's see. Did they board in Consign to Memory, and are they holding one in their hand? Oh, they didn't. They concede. All right, sweet. All right, so a 3-2 record with Tinfin's Doomsday. I honestly, this went better than I had anticipated. Like a 3-2 record where I believe I won a game in both of the rounds I lost, and especially like the loss here versus Omni, I feel like I probably made a miscalculation not boarding into Doomsday for at least one of the post-board matches. The pivot worked in, I think, all the rounds, or at least most of them where I won. And I do kind of like being able to pivot out of the graveyard. It's the same thing that the Golgari Reanimator deck does, where it pivots into the Chain of Smog, Disciple of whatever combo. And you have to respect the graveyard as the opponent. And when you don't, and you just get blown out by whatever they still kept in, it's an awful feeling. So I think most of the time you have to respect the graveyard in post-sideboard games, but then it can be really tough. It's the same thing with Oops All spells, right? Where the strength of that deck now is also that it's able to actually just like cast weird but pretty effective creatures off of rituals and fast mana in post-board games, and then you then also have to have kept like Swords to Plowshares and not only boarded in or boarded all that stuff out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well the main deck of this deck holds up. We're a greedy 18 blue card Force of Will deck, and there is a fail rate on the combo even after like Shallow Graving up Griselbrand. It didn't happen in this league, but it's happened to me before. I think being a pure either being the hybrid, the Dimir tempo slash reanimator, or being like a more pure all-in Dark Ritual like Golgari reanimator deck might be more effective than what we're doing here. But it kind of played pretty well, I think, in this league. But then like the Doomsday sideboard was a lot of fun. All right, so I think with that, I'm going to say thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the content on this channel. If you do, please do the whole YouTube stuff, like, comment, and subscribe. It actually really helps. And I will be back with some more Legacy. Bye-bye.